Finally, the Bravo is back together. I've got all the centre console back in, all the side trims in. Haven't got any screws left over at all, guys, and the heating is working. Turned out I didn't need to put the new control unit in. I just needed to change out that motor down there. So that's the reason the plastic clip had broken. The motor had obviously failed and overstretched the clip. So now I just need now the mother of all cleans, and then the customer can come and pick it up. So hopefully that's it out of my hair, but we'll see. The little yellow, got the Aygo still in, still working on a bit of paint work on the Aygo. Left it with just a random white on at the moment. I always seal it with a colour. You don't want to leave stuff around in primer paint or primer filler because it can absorb moisture. It's only the top coat that prevents moisture being absorbed. So I always stick something over the top if I'm in between jobs, just to keep it from absorbing any moisture. And for silver, white's the best because it's a good primer anyway. So going to be finishing off. This is going to come up nice and tidy, this one, I reckon. Just going to do a touch up on the front bumper there, and then give it a really good clean inside, put some wheel trims on it, and this will be a nice little car. Haven't started on the other Yaris yet, the clutch on that. I've been a bit too busy getting the Bravo sorted. This is someone's bad day. Someone's got a Alpha Spider in with Stuart at Alpha Regatta, the unit I work out of, and wanted it restored and has had it sandblasted. And my God, is it Frankenstein. This thing has been bodged together like nothing on earth. There is nasty welding everywhere. This is why I always say to people, when I speak to people, obviously this isn't my side of the business, when I speak to people who come in with cars that look good overall, and just need sort of mechanical fettling, just get out there and enjoy them. The trouble is, if you start getting to a point where you go, oh, I've got a little bit of bubbling paint here, I'd really like it repainted. You just open a can of worms, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. This thing now needs panels all around, and they will be dropping a very large amount of money into this restoration. So there's always someone having a worse day than you. Unfortunately, I don't think this customer expected to be dropping quite this much money in it. But anyway, so yeah, I will crack on and get the paint sorted on the Yaris. I've just got to sort out the yellow Corsa I sold. It's gone for its MOT, it's passed just needing headlight adjustment, so I've got to get on and get paperwork sorted for that. I delivered the little 500S to the customer today that I sold. That blue Aygo, still got that outside. I gave it over to my mate over Dale over at Car Care. He's had a look at it. He couldn't find a drain on the battery, but he did say that occasionally he saw a little drain. Very randomly on and off, and he thinks it might be an alternator fault, so I'm probably going to stick an alternator on that and see if it makes a difference. Kind of a bit fed up of that car now, so we'll see if the alternator makes a difference. But tomorrow, yeah, get this cleaned up. The customer's been really patiently waiting for this. Get this cleaned up and get it over to him, and hopefully he can get out and start enjoying it. 80, 120, 240 on this now to smooth out that fiberglass. Now I can still feel the indentations, and you know that there's an indentation because you've got these uneven colourings here, so you can tell straight away that that's a high spot, that's a low spot. That's intentional anyway, because I'm now going to go with normal filler to smooth these spots out, and then the process again will be probably a 120, then a 240, then a 400, then a 600 before I filler prime, then colour. Oh, panels have started arriving for the KA. I've got the front wing here. Some stuff's turned up in the office. I've got a bumper in the office, some other bits and bobs. So once I get through all this other work, I think I'm going to do the clutch on the Yaris first, because that's got brand new MOT on it. And once that's done, that can be up for sale. And the other Yaris, once I've done that paintwork, can be up for sale. So I've got to focus on the two I can get up for sale the quickest. So get the two Yarises done, get them up for sale. Then we'll get started on the Ford KA. And start bolting on the new panels. So flat back the random white I put on, sanded it all back, and now put on a base coat of white ready for the silver to go over the top. I've obviously got to go out past these dark areas here when I do that. So we'll wait for that to go off for about 10 minutes and then start to lay down the silver. I'm hoping to sort of take the silver to about here and then lacquer and sort of fade out along this line here ideally. But I might have to go a bit higher because the colour's going to come up a bit higher than I thought initially. So first coat of colour down. So second coat is on. I'm going to have to fiddle around a bit to try and get this blend even, because I find I get dark edges from metallics. I'm not sure what I do wrong. I think perhaps I'm changing direction when I shouldn't be, so I need to play around with that a bit and see how we get on. So there we go, that's better. I've dusted it all in the same direction this time and it's laying better that way. So now we're just going to wait a couple of minutes and put our colour coat, put our lacquer on. Don't put too many coats of metallic on. I find it doesn't do any favours. Lots of dust coating is the best with metallics. Well, it looks like these rear arch scuffs are coming out as well. That's the section I just did there. Give it another. I mean, I could get the polisher out, but sometimes I really can't be bothered to go and get the right tool. Just use it anyway. I like the pressure I can put on with my finger to really get the scratch out. But yeah, looks like we should be able to get a lot of this arch out again, which means no spraying this up, which is great because I hate painting silver. It's a nightmare to match. But it's all come out, guys. That's a result, isn't it? Got the tiniest little mark down there, but other than that, it's all come out. That's brilliant news. Saves a lot of painting. So in between waiting coats on the silver Yaris to go off, I'm fiddling with the red Yaris. We're going to get clutch done, but remember the door handles are all flaky. Well, I've blown all the lacquer off with the air gun, and now what I'm going to do is give them a quick polish with some compound, and I'll show you the end result. There you go, nice shiny red door handle. Looks a hell of a lot better than the flaking, and we haven't had to get the rattle can out. So I'm happy with that. I'll leave that as is, I think. So we put the lacquer on, put the fade out thinner on there as well. It's difficult to tell how well this has come out at the moment because I need to flat it all back, but initial signs are it doesn't look too bad. There's no obvious blend at the moment. The metallics there, maybe slightly higher metallic than the Toyota, but because I went across the two panels, there's no obvious blend line. Obviously you've got to bear in mind how much this car, it's going to be like a £2,000 car, so I've got to not go crazy. I just wanted to get rid of those two holes really, didn't I? So we'll come back to it in the morning when it's dry. I'll flat it back and then we'll do a mammoth clean of the whole car. I did do the edge of the door just here as well, where there was a dent. I don't think I've managed it quite so well. I did the same thing I always do, guys. I flipping overdid it with the fade out thinner. This is looking a bit dark. In real life it doesn't actually look that dark between the two panels, but overdid it with the fade out thinner. Got some runs there, so I'm gonna have to have a look how that looks in the morning. I don't know why I always do the same thing over and over again. It's I get the fade out thinner, I spray it on, I see the sort of mottled effect around the edge, and I want it to be smoother, so I put more on, but that makes it run. I didn't do it here, but I did do it there. So I'll have to have a tidy up in the morning. But then the rest of the car is going to get a proper clean up. Pick up some wheel trims, clean the inside, give the outside a good clean. And then it should be a great little car for someone. Like I said, it's got an MOT till December, I think, this one. And I've tightened up the little bits of bodywork it had. I'll be able to sort that out, that won't be a problem. And yeah, then it'll be a nice little runabout for someone. The 1 litre means it'll be a perfect first car for someone because it'll be super low insurance, super low road tax. Can't imagine they're pretty that nippy with a tiny little 1 litre in one of the bigger cars. I mean, the Aygos are small and light, aren't they? But these little 3 cylinders, they're quite fun little engines. Anyway, that's it for this evening. I'm going to get home and then come in tomorrow. And tomorrow we should have PT is going to come in and crack on with the Yaris and do the clutch for me while I crack on and get this ready. I would normally do that myself, but we're coming up towards the end of the month. I want as many cars for sale as possible. So if he's getting that one ready and I'm getting this one ready, then I can have them both up, get into that Alto, hopefully, get that ready. And then the white, am I giving it away? Yeah, it should be in this video. The white Yaris I bought yesterday should arrive, so I can have 3 more cars up by Monday, hopefully. Hoping, fingers crossed, the white Yaris that turns up doesn't need anything. Pete is an absolute star. He only charges me 100 quid to do this. So for 100 quid, if it allows me to get 3 cars ready this weekend rather than 1, which would be me all day doing the clutch on that, then game on, isn't it? Sometimes you've got to know when it's time to bring somebody in, add a little bit of cost, but bring someone in for the greater good overall. Anyway, I'm off home.